We have created policies that support all families, that children in low-income communities have the opportunity to succeed, that they're graduating from high school, that they're getting a good education, that they have an opportunity. That's an opportunity to succeed is really, really important. So to see a lot of the policy changes in place that will to create a better society is what we will know that we've done something.
Movement to me is a change. It means change. It means leaving from where we are now to another place of existence. And it may be intellectual change. It might be a physical change, but it requires us to leave our frame of thinking or physical space and go to another one.
I think about movement building as a way of connecting struggles, connecting a vision, enabling us then to leverage our collective power and resources and making what may appear to be a small group of scattered people working in marginalized silos or their isolated ghettos to become a powerful force.
I think movement building starts from the ground up for kind of where communities are at. I think it requires a lot of political education. I think in order to change the way individuals as well as organizations and communities can act together collectively, you also have to change the way that they think. So I think political education is a core element of movement building. And I think that there is no kind of formula for movement building, but I think that there needs to be kind of organic, local solutions and kind of short-term as well as long-term strategies of how we can work together.
And to build a movement, to facilitate a movement, I think that we need education, we need support, and we need each other. We need each other to strengthen ourselves to be able to move forward as a unit. I think that's very important.
Some characteristics of a movement building is teamwork, empowerment, exchange of ideas and social history to gain a better collaborative, to gain better teamwork, to gain stronger individuals, stronger communities, and stronger national identities.
When I think of power, I think of collective ideas, collective resources. I think of infrastructure. I think of action. And I think that we have to learn how to put all those pieces together more. I think we have to think about how we take the power of people and the power of ideas and mix it up into new combinations and create something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, the mission of a children's museum is the new town square. We see ourselves as one of those last few places in society where children and families of all ages, ethnicities, incomes can come together and interact, and I think that provides us opportunities. Like specifically, we've been able to use our facilities for things such as children's health disparities, looking at issues around obesity and physical play and access to physical activity in different communities, voter registration, and working with children and families about participation in the democratic process.
Our organization actually works with parents across the city, different ethnic groups, and we've come together around the issue of discipline in Chicago public schools, and we're now making strides and gains to change the way CPS looks at discipline in schools.
Yeah, the example that I would give is Little Black Pearl. We primarily over the years have focused on visual arts as a medium for creating voice. And we recently did a project called Soulful Living. And Soulful Living really focused on African Americans living with HIV and AIDS. So we documented via video, audio, photography, the lives of African Americans from different economic backgrounds to really demonstrate the impact of this disease on our community, and also involve youth in that process, because I think their way of highlighting this issue was very significant, and it also changed the lives of the adults that participated in the process.
If we really want to build a movement, and we want to reach out to the people who are going to carry the banner of the movement, and that's our young people, we have to be in tune with some of the cultural nuances around issues like hip-hop, and how technology can either be used as a tool to empower segments of the communities who are using hip-hop as a medium, or it can be used as a tool to really suppress creativity and produce kind of the brain-dead, consumer-driven society that I think most of us know won't lead to any type of movement.
We also need to think about tools that help people register and organize. We need to think about blogs to get people to share ideas. So technology is very important, technology usage. But we're also mindful that in a lot of the communities we work in, people don't even have phones. Technology can be a very important glue to movement building, but we also need to be mindful that the digital divide is still very much present in our communities.
I think technology is extremely important, because with the use of technology, we're able to get our ideas out to a larger number of people. We will no longer be hindered by geographical boundaries. Having access to people of different class that we may not normally have access to. We can reach other parts of the world using technology. We can get our message out quickly and get a response back from a large, broad number of people in a short amount of time. So I think technology is key. It's absolutely an important and imperative part of movement building.
I think the Casey support has been critical for our organization on one hand because it brings a level of stability. The core operating support, unrestricted support, lets us first of all breathe and be able to know that we don't have to scrap for every penny and nickel continuously.
The speech that I heard Luce give in Albuquerque was liberating to me. It liberated me because I felt like I was the only one that was working toward solving this problem. And then here I find a foundation that's thinking the same way I'm thinking. And not only thinking it, but able to articulate it in the open. And these are the very things that I have been talking about. So one of my board members was there with me at that meeting. And her being there, we were able to go back and talk to the board about the power of movement building and why we need to do it. And we enlisted more support. And after a while, we had 2 more board members that were saying the same thing. And then 3 more board members. And before we know it, more than half of the board was saying, oh yeah, we got to make sure a movement happens because we can't solve our problems without a movement.
I think that the work of the Marguerite Casey Foundation has done a great deal to encourage groups of people, especially across ethnicities that may not ordinarily come together, to begin to work together and find some common ground.
The foundation is very clear on our first mile of our work. That means that we know that we want change, the kind of change we want, how we're going to support it through general support, multi-year grants, through convenings, through action research, through supporting the works of coalitions and networks. That's the work that we do now, and that's how we support movement building.